With thrust, you have direction, focus, or focality, which is, I'm going to teach you that, that's the I-PACE stuff, and messaging. And messaging is what the world sees. And we communicate through messages, not through words, not through physical movements, but the whole message. An example of this is if I look at you and I look at you with a shitty look on my face like I don't like you, and I say, hey, how's it going? And then I look away real quick, like I don't care about your answer. The message is, I don't like you. If I look at you and I say, hey, how you doing? And I seem really interested in how you're doing, I have a positive look on my face, maybe I touch you on your arm at the same time, the message is, I like you, I'm curious about you, I want to build a connection with you. So the message is what's most important. And that starts with your direction, which we'll work on, which is basically experience, values, and rules. So the experience you want to have, the values required to have that experience, and then the rules undermining those values. So I call that EVR. Localities are where you put your attention moment to moment. There's only 6, but one of those 6 is bad, and it's called deception. In other words, the one thing that turns women off the most, which is not being real, not having integrity, not being honest or authentic in how you carry yourself and things you say. And that comes from you competing with the dude in her mind that you think is in her mind, which is really not. So deception. But there's only 6, right? So if we add one, we're left with all the good ones. The focalities are protection, appreciation, conditional appreciation, or you could say appreciation potential, curiosity, and expression. Now, if you look in the I-PACE conversation examples, you'll see examples of conversations where every time I talk, I'm in one of the 5 good focalities, and you can see it because there's a letter next to it. So there will be an A or a P. All right, that'll make sense when you look at it. So EVR stands for experience, values, and rules, and we're going to work backwards. So I want you to picture yourself at having a peak experience, or like a perfect experience a year from now. We're in the context of women dating, so I want you to imagine being in a situation, being somewhere, and you look at yourself and you say, yep, I made it. This is what I wanted. This is where I'm at. So you could be laying in bed with a woman, you could be walking with a woman, you could be having sex with a woman, you could be doing something, or you could be by yourself, just kind of maybe after you hung out with a woman that's in your life. I want you to imagine not just your goals, but you're actually a year from now, sitting there, standing there, doing something, and you look at yourself and you say, oh, I'm here. This is what I wanted. I want you to describe that in detail. What do you feel? What just happened? What's going to happen next? That's your experience. I want you to words and say, what values does that guy, does that future me, what values does he have? And I want you to pick 3. Given those three, what are your rules for life? So you're going to have at least 3, right? So you're going to have a rule for each value. But you can have more if you want. But I want you to come up with like your own list of commandments. And try not to go over 10, but try to do at least 3. Okay? Those are your rules. Now, we're going to just keep that in mind moving forward. And the next step is I'm going to teach you the focalities, and I'm going to teach you about the 3 dimensions of embrace. So the 3 dimensions of embrace and then time comprise awareness. Okay, you're going to use those as like your guidance system to build awareness of each woman. The focalities are going to be required to do that. You're going to need to know how to look in the right way.